All right, well, this concludes our pronunciation, our accent training course. A couple of reminders here. First of all, congratulations for getting through this course, but also a couple of reminders. First of all, if you went through this course and were just listening and not practicing, not recording yourself, not taking notes, this course will not be helpful for you. Okay? So in order to fully take advantage of this course, in order to actually see results and improvements from this course, just as I've been reminding you multiple times throughout the entire course, is that it's imperative that you are taking notes. Whenever we're talking about where in your mouth these sounds are coming from, you should be taking notes on that. Right? The V sound is produced by our teeth and our lips vibrating together. That's something to take note of so that we know in the future when we're making this sound, we can check if that's what our mouth is doing. So please make sure that you are taking notes, first of all, and also make sure that you are writing down any word you made a mistake on or that you think you could improve. The other part to this course is you're not going to see any improvements if you're not repeating after me and if you're not recording yourself. I cannot emphasize that enough. We need to be recording ourselves so that we can hear our voice and we can compare our pronunciation with a native speaker's pronunciation, in this case, my pronunciation. So we need to make sure that we're recording whenever I'm saying a sentence or a word or whatever it may be, that you are recording my voice and then you're recording your voice after. And don't just make the recording and then forget about it. After each section of the video, or even after each recording, whatever you think is best, review that recording. Listen to yourself. Compare it with my voice. Note down the words that you know you can improve, the words that you think you made a mistake on, and drill those words. Again, if you're just listening to this course, you're not going to see any improvements or hear any improvements. In order to hear the improvements, you need to be taking notes, you need to be recording yourself, repeating after me, and then analyzing your recording, listening to your recording, taking note of all of those words that you need to improve, and then drilling. I cannot emphasize this enough. Drilling is such an excellent method to use with breaking bad habits or to learning new information. So again, let's go over this drilling idea one more time. So if we have a word that we've been consistently pronouncing incorrectly for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, it's going to take a lot more than just practicing that word for an hour, one day. This is something that we've been doing for years or months, and it's ingrained into our brain how we've been pronouncing this word. In order to change that, in order to create this new muscle memory of how to pronounce this word, in order to pronounce it perfectly whenever you're not even thinking about it, we must repeat it over and over and over again, not just for one day, ideally for at least 2 weeks. Okay, so again, we're going to take this word, we're going to think of 10 different sentences. It's so important to have 10 different sentences so that we're used to different sounds coming before and after the word, because that can also change our pronunciation. And then we're going to repeat those 10 sentences every single day for at least 2 weeks. Again, this is the best method to help break a bad habit, because again, a lot of these pronunciation mistakes are fossilized. They're things that maybe we know they're incorrect, but we just keep making them because it doesn't matter. So these I like to call bad habits, right? Not necessarily a mistake, but a bad habit, something that we are conscious of maybe, but we just keep making over and over and over again. So we want to break that. So again, in order to take advantage of this course, if you did not do it the first time, maybe the first time you just wanted to listen, you practiced a little bit, go back through this course, take your notes, practice everything that you have from your notes, and make sure that you are using this method of drilling. Okay? And remember that having excellent pronunciation and a great accent, this is going to help you in your daily life, in your professional life, in your academic life, whatever it is that you need English for, this is going to help you immensely. I remember when I first went to a Spanish-speaking country and I would speak Spanish, my accent was not very good. It was very difficult for me to make friends because people could not always understand what I was saying. It was difficult for me to do pretty much any daily life activity. People understood me, but maybe they had to ask me, what did you say? Can you repeat that? And some people just wouldn't understand me at all. This is frustrating. It makes you frustrated, it makes other people frustrated, and it ultimately affects how far you can go in a professional setting or an educational setting sometimes. Even if you know all of the grammar and all of the vocabulary, accent is something that greatly affects communication. Pronunciation greatly affects communication. And in English, it's even more important because there are so many words that if we mispronounce them, they sound like a different word. People can become confused if they think that they heard bad instead of bed, or pain instead of pen, these instead of this, reach instead of rich. So it can be very confusing when native speakers hear something and they hear a word that doesn't belong in the sentence. Maybe they do understand, but it might take them a couple of seconds to realize what you were saying. So our goal here is to be able to communicate effectively and efficiently. The first time we say something, we want everybody to understand us. And again, this is going to help you make friends, make relationships, improve your professional life. If you have to give presentations or meetings at work, we want to make sure that everybody understands us. Imagine you're presenting to a really important client and they're focusing more on each word you're saying because they're not sure what these words are. Maybe they get confused by a word and they're trying to figure out what that word is, and by then you've already said 10 other words and now they're lost. They don't know exactly what you're talking about, or they're behind, right? So if we are at work and we are making a huge presentation or a meeting, we want to make sure that everybody is understanding us clearly. If this is for the academic setting, we want to make sure that our classmates understand us. If we're having a discussion, we want to make sure that we can share our opinion with confidence and be understood 100%. If we go to a store or a restaurant, if we go to the doctor and it's something very important, we want to make sure that people understand us correctly. So again, pronunciation just isn't about, sounding American or sounding Canadian. It's about being able to communicate effectively and efficiently. So I hope you enjoyed this course. Again, go back over your notes. I'm sure you have pages and pages of notes from this course. Don't just stop here. This course is ending, but that doesn't mean that your pronunciation journey is also ending. Make sure to go back over these notes, keep practicing, drilling these words for 2 weeks, and then in the future, if you find another word that you are not pronouncing correctly, or even a new vocabulary word, use this same method of drilling. Just because it's not part of the course doesn't mean that you can't use this method. Throughout your English journey, you're going to always come across something new or a correction. Make sure to write it down and drill that word. I promise you that this method is going to help you. And again, the most important thing is that we're also recording ourselves so that we can listen. If we're just repeating the word, we might be repeating the word incorrectly. What use is that? So we need to be able to listen to ourselves and then listen to a native speaker say that word as well. You can always use my voice, the lessons that we did together, or you can use YouTube or Google, any of the activities that we talked about, but we need to make sure that you are recording your voice with a native speaker's voice so you can make that comparison. All right. Again, I hope that you enjoyed this course. I know that if you follow the directions, if you're practicing, if you're taking your notes, I know that you will start hearing a lot of improvements within the next couple of weeks and months. So thank you so much for your time. And remember to keep practicing. Put in this practice every single day. Remember, it's like going to the gym. If you go to the gym once every month for 4 hours, not going to do very much. If you go to the gym every single day for an hour, it's going to do a lot. Same thing with English, with grammar, with vocabulary, pronunciation, whatever it may be. If you are practicing every single day, even if it's just 30 minutes, you are going to see those improvements. So keep practicing, do not give up, and remember, making mistakes is something positive. Making a mistake is a learning opportunity. It gives you room to grow. Good luck, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed.